Welcome, and today we're going to be talking about tips on studying for biology classes. So, for starter, I want you to ask yourself a question and really understand your learning style. So, are you a visual learner? Do you need to have pathways and mechanisms fully drawn out for you to really understand the lecture? Or are you more of an auditory learner where you need to listen to lecture first on repeat to fully understand concepts? Or maybe you are a read and write learner where you need outside supplements in addition to lecture to fully understand concepts, and maybe writing your own flashcards have worked really well for you in the past. Or maybe you are a combination of these styles. So, really understanding your learning styles will be really important when it comes to taking your notes and really doing well in bio classes and in just college in general. So, when you're taking notes, I would suggest that you allocate time to taking notes. For me, what worked best was 3 to 4 hours per lecture, which I know seems like a lot, but when you're doing something as dense as biology, you really need to take your time to listen to the lecture and really take really like notes um, that you can look back and fully understand and not have anything that's missing where you have to want to go back into the lecture and then like listen to most of it to get to that part again. So when I'm taking my notes, I'm really taking my time to listen to everything that's being said and really saying, is this worth me noting down? Is this not me? Is this part not worth taking down? So taking that time in the beginning to really write detailed notes will help you when you're doing the studying part. Also, I always try to start out with focusing on the larger picture and then diving deep. So, understanding the importance of this reaction or pathway or mechanism that I'm studying, and then diving deep into where is it and why is it located in that part, especially when we get into maybe like cellular respiration and when you do a class like cell biology. When you understand why it's taking place there and where, it helps you understand the mechanisms behind it. Like it's needs this is being done in this part of the body, and then it needs to be moved to this part, so I need to have maybe enzymes or some things. So it kind of makes you build a visual of what's happening inside your body and inside the cell. And also, we should focus on things that inhibit this reaction or enhances it, and I think that's very important. Maybe like when you're studying, you're like, okay, if I increase the pH of this, what's going to happen to this mechanism? Is it going to increase? Is it going to decrease? Is it going to be inhibited? And what type of inhibition? Is it competitive? Is it non-competitive? And understanding all of this, like making sure that you get the big picture when you finish studying. And then also, I want to emphasize that note taking, even though that it seems like it's going to take a lot of time, does not equal to studying. Just because you took notes for 2 hours or 3 hours of the day does not mean that you actively learned anything in those 2 to 3 hours. Note taking is kind of your foundation, and then studying comes where you are actually solidifying everything. So now that you have written your notes, we have to study them. So as a visual learner, you might want to take the time to draw the reactions and the pathways without assistance, without looking back into your notes or the lecture, and then comparing it and seeing how much you got right. If you're using flashcards, maybe go through like 3-4 decks and see how many of the flashcards you get right. And my personal favorite is teaching someone else what you have learned and see how far you get in covering the topic. And then if they have questions, see how much of those questions you can answer without having to look back into your notes. And then, most importantly, please don't cram your studying into the last minute and don't fall behind in lectures. And also, don't be harsh on yourself. It takes time to pick up good learning habits. Just be consistent and try your best. And I wish you good luck.